I'm not religious in that I don't go to church, and I don't necessarily believe in God as such, but I do have faith. I do believe in karma, I do, but not in the way that it's often presented. So I studied to be a yoga teacher, and a lot of my understanding about karma comes from the training I did when I was doing my yoga training. And it talks about karma as being a way to. So the traditional understanding is that if you do something bad, you get paid back in another life. And I don't think that that's true at all. I think karma is working in a much more subtle way than that. Karma is about building the type of energy that you want to have around you. So karma is linked to the concept of duty in yogic philosophy. So you do things out of a sense of duty, and you do them with alacrity, cheerful willingness. So you accept the jobs that you need to do, and you do them to the very best of your abilities, and that becomes a form of devotion. I've never liked the idea of this sort of vindictive cosmic payback. I think it's really, really unhelpful.
Kind of. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it does happen, but I don't know if that's just coincidental or karma.
Right.
I would like to believe in karma.
So tricky. The short answer is no, but there's a longer answer to that, because on an atomic level, we don't ever completely disintegrate. You just go and become something else. And I have this. The philosophy teacher in me is a little bit curious about the energy that drives this collection of atoms and where that goes. There's a lovely quote in the yoga that I've worked with about the idea of the universe being an ocean, or consciousness, I guess, universal consciousness being an ocean, and each person that manifests is a wave in that ocean. So you're not separate to this universal sense of energy. You're part of it, and you're an expression of it, and then when that expression subsides, there's still the underlying energy or consciousness itself.
I don't have a problem with religion, but what I do have a problem with is a distrust of science, or people who reject science in favour of religion. I think religion does what it does, but it doesn't do what science does. And I think things such as flat Earth, the flat Earth movement, which is seems to be getting bigger, which is a bit strange, which in itself isn't necessarily, if people want to believe the Earth is flat, okay. But if you believe the Earth is flat, what else do you believe, and what other evidence are you rejecting? Anti-vaccination, I'm a bit concerned about that sort of thing. So there's a lot of stuff where people are trusting religion or trusting superstition or trusting things that aren't evidence-based and rejecting evidence-based things. That concerns me. I think the world will be better without that. But if religion is a personal belief system that helps people get through the day or deal with hard things, I think that's a good thing. I think I wouldn't advocate the abolition of religion, A, because you can't do it, and B, because you can't do it and it wouldn't be right to do it. But I think organisations, big, wealthy churches, could probably put their money where their mouth is and actually use it to alleviate poverty and hunger. That would be great. But if they're collecting tithes from their followers and money in order to amass wealth, I think that's completely productive and counter to their whole ethos.
I think that's contextual. It depends on the circumstances.
Yeah.
For some people, that's definitely true, in that it encourages them to make better choices, to be kind to people,
Yeah.
to be kind to people, to be more involved in their community. So I think that's one aspect. But for some people, they do all of those things and they're still miserly, miserable human beings. So I think it certainly can be a hugely positive thing. It can exist without faith, which I think is one of the times that it gets concerning, because then it becomes about sticking with a set of rules that you're not open to interrogating and checking. Yeah, so ultimately I think it can be incredibly positive. It's incredibly positive if it's helping people be the best version of themselves, but sadly I think it's often used as an excuse for people to do the very worst.
I don't think so. I'm not really sure because I can't really. It's hard to imagine what it would be like
Yeah.
without religion, I guess, because it defines such a large part of the human race, I
Yeah.
guess.
No, I think it would be. I think that void would be filled with something else. I think religion is a spot that allows conflict to manifest. I don't think religion itself is the issue. I think it's the way that people approach it. So I think there's an underlying issue usually when people are in religious conflict. It's because there's bigger problems that are underpinning that. So I don't think pulling religion out will solve the problem.